In this video, I'll show you how to get started with WooCommerce and set up your online store. I'll explain the different WooCommerce menu options, how to add your first product, and how to manage orders and customers. Now, this video is part of a series on building a WooCommerce store from start to finish. If you missed part 1, feel free to go back and watch it before watching this video. This course is entirely free thanks to WP Engine. WP Engine offers world-class managed WooCommerce hosting, and they're my favorite WooCommerce hosting of all the options I've tried. WP Engine isn't just another web host. They've specifically designed their hosting for WooCommerce with features like instant store search and support for Stripe checkout. I'll go into more detail about these unique features in a later episode, but be sure to check out episode 1 if you haven't already, where I show you how to set up WordPress on WP Engine. I've used WP Engine to power my store for a few years now, and it's truly next level hosting. Thanks again to WP Engine for supporting the channel. And now let's head over to the WordPress dashboard and cover the WooCommerce basics. So first, I'd like to briefly cover what each WooCommerce tab does in the admin dashboard. Now, I don't understand why, but there's a WooCommerce tab that contains things like orders, customers, and reports, but then there's dedicated tabs for products, payments, analytics, and marketing. There are a few things that confuse me about this. I don't understand why reports is under WooCommerce instead of under analytics, and coupons is under marketing instead of under payments. I also don't get why there's no dedicated orders tab if products have their own tab, but that's just the way it's set up, so I'm highlighting these things to eliminate confusion. The main thing to keep in mind is that orders are under the WooCommerce tab and coupons are under the marketing tab. Before we add our first product, I want to work through the WooCommerce settings screen. There's a lot that can be configured, but the first thing I'd recommend is adding your store address so tax rates and shipping rates can be calculated. Under the address, you can adjust your selling locations and shipping locations. If you're selling a mix of physical and digital goods, you want selling locations to include all regions you want to sell your digital products to. You can restrict where you're willing to ship physical goods with the shipping locations dropdown. I'm going to save my changes, then head over to the shipping tab. Here, we can add shipping zones to define geographic regions where a certain set of shipping methods and rates apply. To give you a few examples of shipping zones, let's start with local pickup. I'm going to limit this to the United States. Within that, I want to limit it to New York, where my store is located. And then I'm also going to limit this to a specific zip code where my store is located. Now I'm going to add a new shipping method and I'll select local pickup, continue, and pickup is going to be free. We'll offer that for $0. I'll click create and save, and maybe in this region I also want to offer discounted shipping since anyone located in this zip code is very close to my store and it's not going to cost much to ship stuff to them. So I'm going to add another shipping method. This time I'll choose flat rate and click continue. And maybe we'll give it a cost of $5. Now I'll go back to my shipping zones and add a new one for the rest of the United States. Here, I may choose to add a shipping method that's a flat rate that's a little bit more expensive than the local pickup zone we created. If you want to offer free shipping, you can also add that as a shipping method and define things like cart minimums or coupon codes for free shipping to qualify. Now, within any shipping method, you can also add shipping class costs. Shipping classes can be assigned to any individual item and can dictate how much shipping should cost for an item of that type. For example, I can add a shipping class and call this heavy and say this is for heavy items that are more costly to ship. Then after I create this shipping class, I can go back to my shipping zones and let's go to United States and flat rate. And you can see now there's an option here for the heavy shipping class that's going to add to the base price. So maybe this is going to be an additional $5 upcharge for heavy items since I know it's going to cost me more to ship. If you want your store to dynamically calculate the exact cost of the shipping label and pass that on to the customer, that is possible, but you'll need a paid WooCommerce add-on. Most stores just charge a flat rate or offer free shipping, so this add-on isn't common. It's available if you want it, but you can also assign a special shipping price to individual items if you have something that's particularly bulky or heavy. Alright, so let's create our first product. If you go to Products and All Products, you'll notice that some sample products have been imported from the Cadence starter template. And I'm going to leave this for now because it can be useful to see what the shop page looks like with multiple products as we style the site. Now, under the Products tab, we have categories, tags, and attributes. Categories and tabs work the same as they do with posts. Categories define broad groups of products. For this store, that may be indoor plants and outdoor plants. Tags are more detailed labels about products, so that might be the pot size or the pot shape. Now, attributes are sets of extra product data that can be used to generate every possible variant of a product. You could create attributes for product sizes or colors, then you'll be able to generate all possible variations of a product based on the selected attributes. I'm going to create a new attribute for size, and I'll also make a new attribute for color. Then you can click Configure Terms to define the terms of your attribute. For color, maybe that's red, blue, and green. I'll also configure my terms for size. Let's do small, medium, and large. After configuring our categories, tags, and attributes, let's add a new product. And if you're not sure which categories, tags, or attributes you'll want yet, don't worry, you can always add these later and you can even add them from the new product screen. I'll start by giving my product a name, and I'll also enter a description. Feel free to add images to the description using the Add Media button, but keep in mind this is not where your product images go. There's a dedicated product image and product gallery section, so images in the description would really just be for things like screenshots of reviews or manufacturer info. Sort of like on Amazon, you've got that main product gallery at the top of the page, and then when you're reading the description, sometimes you'll see images used. It's the same idea here. So the product image and product gallery are accessible in the right sidebar. The product image is the primary image that's going to show everywhere on your website. This is going to be in the little tile of your item on your shop page. You can upload a new image here, or you can also go to your media library and access images that are already uploaded to your site. I'm going to make this my main product image. The product gallery underneath contains additional product shots that you want to add. You can add as many as you'd like, but keep in mind you have to add them one by one. If you try to select multiple, it's only going to let you pick one at a time, but that's okay. You can just select an image, click Add to Gallery, and then click Add Product Gallery Images again, select your next image, and click Add to Gallery. Under the Product Gallery is where we can assign some categories and tags. So let's say that this is an outdoor plant, and I'll say that this is a large pot plant. Now, scrolling back up, the product data box is where we access most of the settings for the product. We'll start by adding a price to the item. The regular price field is a normal price tag that displays on the page. If you'd like it to have a strike through and show a cheaper price, you can enter the cheaper price into the sale price field. You can also schedule your sale to be live from certain dates if you want to input this information ahead of time for something like a Black Friday sale. Next, you can manage your inventory by entering a SKU if desired, and you can also choose whether the item is in stock, out of stock, or on back order. You can also toggle stock management to track the exact amount of items you have available, and you can adjust your back order settings here. You can also enter shipping details for your product. Here, you can assign a shipping class if you'd like, but this is not required. If you don't assign a shipping class, it will simply default to the regular cost you put in the shipping method. You can also enter the weight and dimensions of your item. You don't have to do this, but it's beneficial for speeding up order fulfillment. This is because WooCommerce can generate accurate shipping labels based on items ordered if it has this data. And just a quick side note, if you want to change the weight unit and dimensions unit, you can do that under WooCommerce and Settings. I'm going to open that in a new tab and head over to the Products tab. And here you can change the weight and dimensions unit. You'll probably want to change the weight to pounds and dimensions to inches if you're in America like I am. And by the way, if you want to continue watching the course, you'll need to register for free over at Krayler Academy and continue watching there. I'll have it linked below. The first 2 episodes have been available on my YouTube channel, but the rest is exclusively on Krayler Academy. Next, you can add linked products if desired. Upsells are products that are better or higher quality alternatives that will be recommended on this item's product page. Cross-sells are items intended to complement this product, which will be recommended in the cart. Now, attributes can describe product details such as material or brand. An attribute is not necessarily a product variation, but it can be. For example, you could list the item size as large, but if you have multiple sizes, you'll want to change this from a simple product to a variable product. This adds a variations tab, but before we can see anything in this tab, we need to add some attributes. I'll start by adding the attributes that I defined earlier. I'll select color and click select all. And I'm also going to select size and select all here, and then click Save Attributes. Now, when I go to the Variations tab, we have a button to generate variations. And as you can see, this creates every possible variant of the item based on the attributes we defined. We've got all 3 colors and all 3 sizes. Once you do this, you can add a price for all 9 variations, and if you want to assign a special price for a specific variation, you can just click it and access all the details. You can give it a unique SKU, a different price, different weight, dimensions. You can even manage stock per variation, which is probably something you'd want to do if you're selling t-shirts in different sizes and colors. You'll probably also want to set a unique image for each variation, so you can click the tile to do that and click Set Variation Image. Once you have your item details filled out, you can also enter a product short description in this box, which will be shown at the top of the items page. I'm just going to set this to product short description, simply so we can easily see where it's displayed on the product page to get a feel for it. Let's go ahead and publish our item and take a look at the product page to see what it looks like. So here, we're able to see where everything displays on the page. You can see the SKU number, category, and tag. You can also see our featured product image and our gallery images. And you'll notice the main description is right here. I can also click additional information and see the attributes we added. Now, if I scroll up, the product short description goes right here. I can also select a size and a color. And in this case, I see this variation image when I select large. Or medium, that's got a different variation image. I also get an alert that it's out of stock because I entered 0 items available for medium blue. And if I go back to large, we defined a more expensive price for that, so that's reflected right here. So you can really see how powerful variable products are. I want to highlight 2 additional product types you may need. In the dropdown next to product data, we've already covered simple product and variable product. Let's take a look at grouped product. This is essentially a collection of items that you sell individually. So if I go over to linked products, we can select grouped products. So if I sell a single drinking glass, I could also sell a bundle of 6 drinking glasses for a reduced price. I don't have to just select one type of product though. I could sell a package deal with 3 distinctly different products. But by using the grouped product feature, we make sure that the inventory all gets tracked properly. So if I did create a grouped product for 6 drinking glasses, it would reduce the stock of my individual drinking glass by 6 every time one of these items is ordered. You can also add an external/affiliate product, and this is essentially a product link that's going to go out to a different website. So it will still show up on your shop page, but when they click the Buy Now button, you can have an affiliate link or a link to another product page on Amazon or somewhere else. If you want to add a virtual product for sale, like a digital download, go ahead and switch the item type back to simple product and check the virtual checkbox. Virtual products are intangible and are not shipped. So it's something like a consultation or service. If you are selling a file and you want to offer a digital download, go ahead and check the downloadable box as well. This lets you define file names and file URLs. If you're selling something like an image or PDF file, you could upload it directly to the WordPress media library and copy that URL to paste here. If you're offering a larger file for download, you may want to host it on something like Google Drive or Dropbox and copy the sharing URL and paste that here instead. After you've added some items, you can start to get familiar with the order screen and get comfortable with the order fulfillment process. It is possible to create a test order from the back end, but it will be useful to create an order from the front end as a customer so we can start to test out the customer experience. Before we can place the first test order, we need to enable a test payment method. To do this, go to WooCommerce and Settings, then click the Payments tab, and flip the switch to enable check payments. And don't worry, I'll show you how to configure your store to accept card payments before launch, but enabling check payments is a great way to place test orders. Now you can head over to your store and put some items in your cart. I think I'll add this one and select some options for our epic plant here. Let's go with a large blue epic plant. All right, now I will view my cart and let's proceed with the checkout. Also, just a quick note, we can see our two shipping methods we created. Since I'm located in New York and the store is located in New York, I'm put in the local pickup shipping zone, so I'll go ahead and proceed with local pickup and click place order. You'll receive two emails. One is the customer with your order confirmation, and one is the store owner saying a new order was received. In the WordPress dashboard, head back to the Orders tab, and you can see that we have one order outstanding. Now, it says the status is on hold, and that's because we chose the check payment option, so it's waiting for us to acknowledge that we've received the check before it continues to the next phase, but normally you would see the order status as processing when someone pays with their card and it's ready for you to ship. You can click on the order to get all the details about the items ordered and the shipping address. We can also see here in the notes that WooCommerce has automatically reduced the stock for all of the items that have been ordered. To mark this item as shipped, I can change the order status to completed, and I can also choose to enter the tracking number in a note here, and I can say note to customer, meaning the customer will be emailed with the tracking number that gets added. Since I've marked the order as completed, I'll click update. Now, you can use any method you'd like to ship your items, but I like to generate shipping labels directly in WooCommerce. To add this functionality, head over to Plugins and Add New Plugin, and let's search for WooCommerce Shipping and Tax. The plugin is free, so I'll install it and activate it. After activating, I'll click Connect, and I'm asked to sign into my WordPress.com account. I'll go ahead and approve the connection. Now, when I return to the order screen, I can select my order. And when I scroll down, there's a new option here to create a shipping label. Now, you may be asked to verify the origin address and the destination address. In my case, it was already good to go. So then I just have to select a package. Now, I've already inputted a test package, and if you've got boxes that you typically use to fulfill orders, you can click Add Package and enter the dimensions and the weight of the empty package. That way, WooCommerce can add the weight of the empty package with the weight of each item ordered and accurately generate shipping labels without you having to enter the details every time. I'm going to cancel and roll with my test package. And let's just say 3 pounds with the item because I didn't add any dimensions to my items when I created them. You can see the weight here says 0. So we'll just say our package weight is 3 pounds and click Use These Packages. And then right here, we're presented with some shipping options. So you can select whichever one you'd like, and then click Buy Shipping Label. Now, I prefer to check this box that says Notify the customer with shipment details because this will automatically email them with the tracking number and mark the item as shipped. If you ever want to create a new order manually in the back end, you can do that by clicking this Add Order button. You can either create the order for a guest customer, or you can type your customer's name, and if they've ordered on your store before, clicking their profile will preload their billing address and shipping address. Then you can scroll down and add items. Just click Add Products. Let's say we want to add an Epic Plant, green, large. Add this. And you can also apply a coupon if you'd like, enter any notes into the system. This order looks pretty good, so I will just say that the order is processing and click create. And if you'd like to view all of your customers, you can do that under the Customers tab. My store only has one customer because I just created the store and my test order is the only order that's ever been placed. By the way, one of my favorite tricks to manage orders is to download the WooCommerce app. It's available on iOS and Android, and it lets you create, fulfill, and manage orders. This is especially useful if you sell your items at local events because you can subtract them from inventory as you sell them. So those are the basics of WooCommerce. In the next episode, I'll show you how to style your store and customize your header, footer, homepage, and item page. And later in the course, I'll show you how to configure payment methods, integrate email marketing like abandoned cart emails, how to do SEO, and more. This entire course is free thanks to WP Engine, and you can watch the remaining episodes exclusively on Krayler Academy. I'll have it linked below so you can continue watching, and if you missed episode 1, you can check that out here.